Hello people, it's Faith from the Story Mode Variety Gaming YouTube channel, and I'm here to share with you an amazing resource for Return to Moria players. I am of course referring to Lionheart's Grand Warehouse and Armory, a public server that provides infinite materials and unique items for RTM gameplay. You can use this server to stock up on crafting materials for almost any recipe in the game, as well as acquiring special items to enhance your abilities and gaming experience. Before we jump into the tour, I want to share a few disclaimers and tips you should know before using the warehouse. This server is created and hosted by players, not the game developers. This is not a Free Range Games product. The warehouse was made using mods for increased stack sizes, so bringing items from the warehouse to your own game can affect your world save and even corrupt it. Due to how the warehouse was made and is run, the creator nor the host can assist with recovery of your save if the worst should happen. You use the warehouse at your own risk. All game clients use Epic Online Services for online connectivity. If EOS goes down, all servers and platforms are affected. There is nothing the creator or the host can do in this situation. If you have trouble connecting to the warehouse, please attempt all basic troubleshooting and check the status of the Epic Games platform before contacting the warehouse server host. Please remember that individual players made this resource to help the RTM community enjoy the game even more. The warehouse should be seen as a fan-made favor, not a guaranteed service. Now here are a few tips to help you avoid any real issues by using the warehouse. Back up your PC save files before visiting the warehouse to avoid losing any progress if there are any issues. Make sure your game is updated to the latest version to minimize communication issues between worlds. Both PC and console players are strongly encouraged to use the quick grab menu option to take stacks of 100 instead of full stacks of 999 plus to lessen potential issues associated with the stack mod. Consider deactivating any active mods in your own game before interacting with the warehouse to minimize potential problems. Lastly, take these tips seriously because avoiding issues is much easier than fixing them. Okay people, on to the grand tour of Lionheart's Grand Warehouse. Well, here we are. We have used our join code to join Lionheart's Grand Warehouse server, and here we are in the world save. Now, this is the Aftermath area in Return to Moria. This is where you would spawn into a game when you first start a campaign, and there is nothing of import here. There's just a little bit of structure to it. Now, if we come over here, look at these chests really quickly. This is a great kindness that the creators have done, is put some food right here next to these map stones, because as we know, traveling by map stone does take quite a bit of your fullness levels, and so coming to this world has done the same. So eat before you starve is how they've chosen to label this chest, which is extremely accurate. So again, there's nothing here at the world spawn location except map stones to access areas that are important. So let's take a look at our options. Now tab through here and you're going to see a couple of options for mini warehouses. The Mithril Warehouse, the Nogrod Warehouse, and the Belagost Warehouse. And they exist because, as you guys know, in-game and campaign, you have to craft specific armor and weapons at specific forges. So these warehouses have been constructed around their respective forges with the appropriate materials for you to make your Belagost armor, to make your Mithril armor, to make your Nogrod armor. Now, in this list under the third deep, we have Durin's Warehouse, which is titled as main. So this is your main warehouse, and this is where we're going to go today. Okay, and here we are spawned into Durin's Warehouse at this mapstone. Now, whenever you ask for directions in the Discord channel, anyone who responds is going to say from the top of the stairs. And this is exactly what they mean. From the top of the stairs is where we are also going to center ourselves here for this tour. And again, this is exactly where the mapstone is going to drop you when you warp in. So here we are, and the first thing I want to show you is immediately to our right on this level is a display clearly showing that the Orc Hunter DLC materials are stored here in the warehouse. So over here we have several chests. In the middle we've got some troll hide. Up above we have our warg pelts. On the other side of the display furniture we have the ruckus skulls. And above that we have the felled beast heads. So anything that you're looking for from the Orc Hunter DLC, you can find those items here directly to the right of the mapstone and directly to the right of the top of the stairs. Now we're gonna head downstairs, but we're gonna go to these guild crests really quickly because very cleverly the creators have labeled these wood and cuttings, stone, granite, and adamant. And do you also see the arrow indication here? So an arrow to the right an arrow to the left. So let's follow to the left. Here on this landing, we are not going all the way down the bottom of the stairs. We are cutting off at this landing here. And in this room, you are going to find all of the wood that you could possibly need for any construction project or anything else for that matter. You're going to find elven wood. You're going to find ubasum wood. You're going to find iron wood in here. And of course, you are going to find regular wood scraps as well. Now, what's really cool about the wood room, if you will, is here tucked into the walls, we have additional chests holding DLC materials. So here is your Entwood, typically grown in-game by the Welling Spring construction recipe. So that is where you can find your Entwood. In these chests right here, your Ubasum tree cuttings. And a little bit further down the wall, we have Elven tree cuttings. So literally any wood materials that you need for anything are going to be here in this room, labeled clearly wooden cuttings. Now, if we pop over to the right side of the stairs, we're going to see stone, granite, and adamant. So on this landing, we're going to go into this room, and boom, you've got stone, we've got granite, and we've got adamant, and we've got it all the way around. Just like wood was wrapped all the way around the other room, your stone materials are going to be absolutely abundant over there to the right. Now, from these landings, we're going to keep going down the stairs, land right here in the middle. And what I recommend anybody does who's looking for anything for the first time in the warehouse is go ahead and go to the right, because there really isn't anything to the left for a little while. Now, if we go to the right and follow the hallway, the passage, whatever you want to call it, we're going to come into this room here in the corner, the right corner. And this is holding a bunch of Mountaineers packs that have been pre-filled with a significant amount of really prominent materials. So here is what's inside of these pre-packed Mountaineers packs. You've got everything in here from adamant and granite to stone to wood, elven wood, iron wood, metal fragments, ingots, bat poo, fine leather, sunstone, natural fiber, the whole shebang, okay? You've got full stacks of very common and useful materials here in these packs. Okay, and now I'm gonna pick mine back up. So for me today, I had to manually take my own pack off and then take the new pack off of the wall. It didn't swap for me automatically. Okay, so this is the right corner coming off of the stairs. That's what's going on with these packs on the wall. Now let's head right through this passageway and into this portion of the warehouse. And here you are going to find food. So these are going to be ingredients. We've got mushrooms over here. We've got thyme, which you grow and harvest, of course, in your farm boxes. We've even got some craftable ingredients like oat milk in here. You've got your dough in here, as well as things like eggs that you have to get from birds' nests, sunken moss that is exclusive to certain areas in the game, crab apples from the Elven Quarter, parsnips, etc., etc. You guys get the idea. This is where all of your food is going to be, your ingredients for meals. And with that as a reference, on the right side of this room, the same room, so directly across from your ingredients chest, you're going to see some elven chests. They are labeled rations. So here's your travel food that you can make, lembas and all this other good stuff. And then in the chest above, this one is labeled meals. So here are a bunch of the meals you can make in-game, pre-made, pre-crafted. So you can grab the meal itself if you really want to right out of this chest. And I believe the chest directly next to that one is more rations. So if you want to grab a massive stack of travel food to keep yourself alive while you are campaigning, by all means, this is where you will find it. So this is kind of the food section here. Now we're going to go through this middle section. I'm just going to do a quick circuit. There's nothing here. It's just a passageway. But we're going to come into this next area right here, and this is where you're going to find all of your abacs. So power abacs are in here, swift abacs are in here, so on and so forth. Now next to your abacs are going to be carvings, tokens, and pages. Right next to that we have our build lore tomes and scrolls. And below that, we have our Arasaadi, which is in this section because you need your Arasaadi to make your abacs. Across again from those chests here on the right-hand side of the room, you're going to find scales. And above the scales, you are going to find bat droppings. Continuing to move down the right side of the warehouse structure, here in the corner at the bottom is just going to be more wood. So the upper layer as well as this lower layer is again that selection of wood materials that you can grab. Now, if we walk over to what looks very much like an armory or a smithy location, we come to the Great Forge of Durin. So if you are looking to craft Durin Forge specific items, you will need to do that here. But above us right here, we're gonna go up these stairs and we're gonna check out what's going on with these chests up here. So as you can see on the top, we have a pile of salt, and yes, here in this chest, we have salt. We have fine leather in the chest below that. We have cloth scraps in the chest below that. So as you guys can see, this is going to be some of your cloth, leather, and fiber materials. Here's your leather. Here's your natural fiber. And over here we have feathers as well. Now a quick note on the chest next to the feathers, if I can target it here. We've got another chest over here of Numenorean cloth. And we also have a chest of spider silk. Now this gets a little bit confusing for people sometimes. This white rope that looks very much like natural fiber is the actual item that is dropped when you destroy a spider nest in game. As soon as you pick it up off the ground from a spider nest, it turns into natural fiber in your pockets. So if you grab this stack of spider silk, it is the equivalent of grabbing a stack of natural fiber. It's not a new material, it's not a different material. So just know that there is no actual physical crafting difference between spider silk and natural fiber. And as you can see, while I'm kind of running around, we've got a lot of crafting stations in here. We've got looms, we've got repair smithies, we've got other forges and furnaces here on the side, partly decorative, partly useful. We've got salt baths, so if for any reason you need to actually craft with the materials that are here, you're not necessarily here for a stack of wood, you're here for a piece of armor, or you're here for a specific weapon. Those crafting stations are here for you. Here's a rune table, so you'll just find them scattered about the area. And let me point out my progression really carefully. I'm trying to make this very clear for anybody looking for anything specific in the warehouse. So this is the level that we were just on here, looking at salt and leather and spider silk and natural fiber. We came back down the stairs, kept going along this back wall here, past the forge, past the furnaces, past all of that good stuff, and go up this flight of stairs. And here in these chests, you're gonna find your precious gems, semi-precious gems, and other important stone materials. So in addition to things like jade, you are also gonna find Mahal's gift here. You're also gonna find true quartz here. You're also going to find sunstone here. So if it is some kind of gem or some kind of precious stone, it's going to be over here in this area. Here's your rubies. Here are your amethysts. You guys get the idea. Here's more Arasaadi, all of this good stuff. Okay, so here are all of your gems up here on this level. Now we're going to go back down the stairs and we're going to keep cutting all the way across the back of the building. And so now we're in the back left corner, if you will, and this is where you're going to find all of your pre-crafted ingots. So we've got mithril ingots, star metal, Nogrod, Khazad steel, Shanor ingots, and over here we have your basics. We have your iron, we have your steel, we have your copper. So all of your ingots are going to be in the back left corner on the bottom level. Now if we take a stroll up these stairs, still in the back left corner but above, this is where you're going to find your ore. So here's our iron ore. We've got salt here as well. Silver is over here. Coal, mithril, all the good stuff. Okay, so raw ore, just freshly mined, is on the top level, and then ingots are on the bottom level. And again, this is the back left corner of the warehouse. Now, fun stuff if we continue to run up the left side of the structure. More for the fun of it, more for building. We've got a little sleeping area in here with some packs on the wall, which I think is really fun. And this is the top right corner. So now we are on the opposite side of where we came in. So we just did a full circuit, going to the right and continuing against the walls, wrapping all the way around a very square structure. Now, if we were to go down the middle, instead of turning to the right at the front, you're going to see some shields on the walls, some weapons. You can grab these. You can also craft your own. And in the treasure room here, you're going to come across chests that are just chock full of gold coins. So if you need gold coins, come here into the treasure room. It's right in the middle of the structure, and you can just grab heaps and heaps of gold coins to build your own treasure room in your own game. So back here at the very bottom of the stairs is where we're going to wrap up our tour of the warehouse. It's actually really simple once you get used to the layout. It's quite literally a long rectangle, and if you walk along the walls, you are always going to end up finding everything that you need. I also appreciate the effort of labeling that the creator went through to make sure every chest and every sign is labeled as to what is there. Okay, here we are back in the aftermath where you spawn into Lionheart's Grand Warehouse when you first use your join codes to access it. Again, we're going to bypass any architecture. We're going to head right to our map stones. And we're gonna go to Durin's warehouse, which is our main warehouse. And here we find ourselves respawning to the top of the stairs as we did before. Now to keep things simple, I'm gonna go to the right once again. I'm gonna stay on this level. We are not going down the stairs. And run along the right side wall of the structure. And as we go, you'll start to see that there is a room back here in the back right corner. Now, there is a duplicate space on this level on the left side in the back left corner. So in this space, you're going to come across your 2 bow options, your standard bow and your crossbow. And in these chests, you're going to find your arrows and your bolts for both weapons. This is the only location in the main warehouse, Durin's warehouse, that you're going to find bows and arrows. Top floor, back right or back left corner. Now, directly beside us is this very, very cool bookcase, right? Scrolls and tomes, all that good stuff. Did you notice that one bookcase has been pushed a bit to the side, creating a secret passageway into a secret room? You're going to discover some very fun items. So here we have the Boots of Debug Speed. I already have these in my pocket, so I'm not going to actually grab it, but this is where you will find it. Next to that, you have the Ring of Power item. In the middle, you're going to have the Glamdring Sword, you're going to have the Infinity Torch, and you're going to have the God Pick. These are the only chests that are offering 3 different items. Over here on this side, it's just a repeat of the Ring of Power and the Boots of Debug Speed. So those are the 5 special items that you can get here in the warehouse, and this is where you find them. Now let's head back to my game, and I'm going to show you what all of these special items do. Okay people, here we are. I have loaded into a different world save, and as you can see, once again, we are in the aftermath at the very front of a campaign. So now I'm going to go into my inventory and I'm going to equip the Ring of Power, which just took the place of my mithril armor. And then when I equip the boots, it is going to take my gloves. So these are equipable items that are going to replace pieces of armor in your equipped section. So I have the boots and the Ring of Power activated, and now I'm going to grab the Infinity Torch, and you will see that it will literally last forever. You can see in the hotbar that there is no white bar, indicating how close I am to it disintegrating completely. There is no gauge. This torch will last forever. Now I have to run to the west gate, where I believe I repaired the map stone. So with the boots on, we have some very lovely speed, useful for if you just need to travel through your map very quickly. I personally don't find the boots useful because I don't spend a whole lot of time just booking it through the mines. But if for any reason what you're trying to do in your game requires you to move very quickly, that is an option for you. Okay, here is my map stone, and I want to go somewhere a bit more risky, a bit more dangerous, so I'm going to head to the Red Horn. So here in the Red Horn Mountain at the Mithril Lode, we can again rush around. I actually want to come across some enemies, which I may or may not be able to accomplish here. I also want to come across a untouched ore deposit to show you the full benefit of the God Pick. So let's grab this iron right here. That is inside of some adamant. So adamant, as you know, is the toughest bedding material we have. I'm going to take the God Pick to this, the special item, and you guys will see that ore stands no chance against it. And it's gone. That entire deposit was diminished in about 5 seconds. But that is how quickly and thoroughly the God Pick takes out ore. Now, another really useful element of the God Pick is that it knocks out chunks that may have been left behind from previous delving. So as you can see, when you come into a deposit, the Dev Pick takes out every little inch of material. There is nothing left. Once I pull all of the dropped ore into my pockets, there is no residuals left. Those annoying little specks that are left behind with every other pick in the game, you don't have to deal with. I'm gonna grab Glamdring. This is our other special weapon. Now, this is mine, and so I do have a rune on it. It doesn't come with a rune. It's just a sword when you grab it from the warehouse. But let me find this warg. One hit kill. Did you guys see the damage count? Now, this is a shadow orc. These guys are tough. 7,500 damage from this orc. So what Glamdring does for you is it's basically a one-hit kill weapon that can take out any level enemy, including orc chieftains, and I know you're asking yourself, can I use the sword on the game boss, the very end game? No, you cannot, but here is a drake. One hit kill on the drake. And that is how powerful Glamdring is. I'm gonna take myself to the Crystal Descent, and I am going to attempt the greatest test of the Ring of Power special item that I possibly can, and that is casting myself down the Crystal Descent with Reckless Abandon. No fall damage whatsoever. As you can tell, one of the greatest chasms the game has to offer is of no danger to you if you have equipped the Ring of Power. It will save you from all fall damage. Okay, here we are in a cluster of poison mushrooms, and yes, I do have the poison status on me, but because I am wearing the Ring of Power, I am taking no damage whatsoever from the poison status. So here is another invincibility feature of the Ring of Power special item. Okay, here's a fun example of the Ring of Power. I am not alerting these goats to my presence. The Ring of Power makes me invincible and invisible to any other creatures in game, ranging from rats to goats to orcs. They are not going to notice me, nor can they do me any damage. Okay, people, here's one of the greatest tests of the Ring of Power that I could imagine. I have dropped myself with no ladders and no platforms to the bottom of a darkest deep. The spider has no idea that I exist. Let's carry on and see if we can find some more formidable foes. And here we are, a nameless beast who is not aware of my presence in the slightest, and against whom we are going to test Glamdring's one-hit kill percentage. And yes, even a nameless beast will fall to Glamdring in one single hit. Other than rushing headlong into an orc town to prove my point even further, I think you all understand the amazing capabilities of these special items in your game. The torch that never burns out, the god pick that demolishes an entire ore deposit in seconds, Glamdring the one-hit kill wonder sword, the boots of debug speed, and the last but absolutely not least, the Ring of Power that makes you not only invincible, but invisible to all creatures in the game. Okay people, just a few notes before we're done here. The warehouse is based out of the Return to Moria Discord server and can be found in the dedicated server list channel. So join the community if you haven't yet and stay up to date on any changes to the server and updates for the game. A clickable link for the Discord as well as the current join codes for Lionheart's Grand Warehouse and Armory are in the description of this video. Thank you for watching and happy delving.